Hi everybody, we're looking at a mono-red attempt at an Arcane Bombardment deck that really wants to lean into kind of the spellslinger theme of instants and sorceries. If you've seen some of my Arcane Bombardment videos, you know that we're trying to lean on some Jaya, Fiery Negotiator for the mid-game transition, and some other permanents that kind of lend themselves to our strategy a little bit more. We've got to lean away from instants and sorceries for the entire deck. We really need some stuff that the opponent for one, has to focus on and deal with before we reach Arcane Bombardment mana. And two, the format is a little bit faster now than it used to be, so we don't really have time to durdle around, set up card draws with big score, and kind of do that as much as we used to. So that's why we're giving this version a shot. We've got 4 Electrostatic Infantry as some of our permanents, 2 Shivan Devastator, and 3 Smoldering Egg on the low end. The idea is that we can set this up in the beginning of the game and then kind of sit on it and gain an incremental advantage over time until we can finally start reusing some of these cheaper cards with Arcane Bombardment. A tricky task with a deck like this is to land on the right number of spells for the job. What we don't want to happen is that we get a bunch of our payoff cards, but then none of the things that activate them. That is, none of the instants and sorceries. So I ran into a game or two where that did happen. I drew all 3 Smoldering Eggs one game with not enough spells to activate them, and we just needed like one spell to be able to go off and win, and it did not happen. So the balance is still a little tricky, still not quite there, but it led to some fun games. We got to use things like Geistflame Reservoir, great for just kind of playing off the top of our deck, and is a backup win condition. Just being able to zap something based on the number of counters it has was kind of nice. Also has the added benefit of not being able to die to Invoke Despair, also good. And in a deck like this, where we're only running 3 big score and our main forms of card draw are things where we have to discard in order to draw cards, means we're going to be playing off the top of our deck a little bit more often than in some of our other versions. So being able to exile a card off the library with this reservoir, also pretty good. Jaya, just a great mid-game threat on her own. Creating monks in a deck focused on spells, very good. We're going to activate prowess a lot. And as I mentioned, since we're playing off the top of the deck a lot, exiling the top 2 and kind of getting our pick there makes her a little bit of a card selection tool as well. I'll confess I read her emblem totally wrong, and we did manage to get that off in this first game I'm going to show you. She gives you 2 copies of the spell that you cast, meaning that you get the first one based on the card in your hand, and then you get 2 copies of that, meaning you end up with a total of 3 spells. Loads of fun if it can happen, but it's a steep cost, and odds are that you're not going to get there, but when you do, makes it all worthwhile. Just looking at some of the other cards, we're running 3 copies of Burn Down the House because we do need a board wipe. 1 copy of Seize the Storm. The idea is that's another kind of repeatable token generator, just like Burn Down the House, which is super useful in a bombardment deck. 3 copies of Arcane Bombardment. It's kind of like a control deck finisher for us, and we do not have the density of spells needed to make 4 of a good option. If we double up with Arcane Bombardment, as we did in one of these games, we ended up running out of spells to pull out of the graveyard with it just because we're running a bit more permanents than usual. So I think 3 is a good number here. Taking a look over at the lands, we're running 26, just 25 mountains and a Sokenzan. Might be able to throw in an additional Sokenzan if you like, but it does not activate bombardment and does not trigger any of our prowess guys, so 1 is probably the right number. Alright, well let's take a look at some of these games on the ranked standard ladder. I'll be around for some commentary on these games, so I'll talk to you in a second, but first, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, here with Mono Red Arcane Bombardment again. Keep this ready for a tenacious underdog if there is one. Nope. All right, let's try to get a reservoir going. Only 2 in this deck, but of course we got both of them. Get that down as soon as possible and start slinging some spells is the plan. Not afraid of that heavy just yet. If we want to, we can keep it away forever by giving our opponents cards. Yep, go ahead and have a card. Stow away. Likely no blocks here. If they do block, we can get them, but they will not block. That's fine. We will Ping that, get in for a little bit of extra damage. Keep building up monks, I think, and rather than keep one damage online, let's get a second reservoir going. Really capitalize on those spells. Yep, go ahead, take a card. Each opponent sacrifices a creature unless they discard a card. You can discard this extra Jaya here. No problem. We've got enough to fully remove this Shakedown Heavy if we want to. I think we want to. So let's bolt it. Get counters on the reservoir, prowess up the monks. And then remove 2 counters from this reservoir. 1, 2. Finish off that idiot. Make another monk. Get in there. Sure. 2 turns away from a Jaya emblem. See if we can go for that achievement. Not sure why we're playing Long Reach of Night anymore, since Tergrid's not around. That was a thing. This could be a Braids-based deck. I've seen some of those decks use Long Reach. Sorin, drawing, doing what he does best.
Nothing on Innistrad is free.
All right, no spell there. Yep, I want to keep building Jaya. Let's take a look with the reservoir and see what we get. Take another look with the reservoir. Okay, that's not bad. Would love to play with fire the face, but I think we got to hit Sorin with it. I don't see any other way we can get some extra damage on it. Yep. All right, let's hit Sorin. Get some counters on the reservoirs. Everybody go get Sorin. More monks. Looking at emblem time this turn. Are we going to get it? We're real vulnerable to Invoke Despair. Black has all kinds of ways to get rid of this. Rona's Vortex. Okay, Meat Hook for 1. Gains him a little bit of life, but nothing else. This is too valuable to pass up, so we're going to do that for sure. Play a mountain. We'll exile 1 card here. It is sadly a mountain. We'll exile another one. We get a Cathartic Pyre, which we can copy for free. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Get many more counters on these reservoirs. Kind of becoming our backup win condition versus black here. Reservoir, not a card that can be invoked despaired off the board. Oh, I totally misread that. For each spell, we get 2 copies. Oh, it's on now. Oh, it's all on now. Counting the mana here, we've got 8. Let's make some devils 3 times, but not before we get rid of this bozo right here. No card advantage for you. Good news about this emblem is even if they counter the first one, we still get this second copies. And for a while, I thought that emblem was just like the Rowan one, where you pay 2 for a copy. So like might get 1 tops. No, this'll break a game in half right here. Fantastic, love it. Massacre, unfortunately, negating the death benefit of our devils, so we're gonna have a little work to do there.
Nobody knows Dominaria. I'm tired of your secrets.
Alright, Liliana just acting like a 3-mana discard spell. Not sure what the plan is with that. Maybe trying to distract us, but we remain resolute to the goal. And the goal is attack face with devils. And ping them out mercifully with our Geistflame. I said good day. All right, good game. All right, we are here with a mono red Arcane Bombardment game. Love playing monocolored decks. The lands are so easy. We'll pass it over here. Unlike some of my decks of the past, this isn't entirely spells to go with Bombardment. We're kind of diversifying our threats these days, so you'll see we've got a lot of other things that kind of support that strategy that aren't always instants and sorceries. The big choice now is if we want to start with the Smoldering Egg or the Electrostatic Infantry. Since they're playing red, the infantry does have a good chance of dying. Let's start with the egg. Build on that. Nothing from the opponent. Alright, this infantry might be safe, or we could start the Geistflame Reservoir and just get everything going here. I say we do that. Makes the best use of our mana, since we have no follow-up 1-drop play. Oh, sorry, opponent. Getting stuck on lands is no fun. Well, in that case, we will keep it building. Electrostatic Infantry. Can fire off this lightning strike whenever we want and get the fireworks started. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. We got a big score in hand to fill us back up. We'll start putting counters on things. What in the world happened there? I totally missed what? That get discarded? Oh yeah, they must have selected it for discard. Okay, anyway, let's just a big score away this. Draw a couple of cards. And get in with our friend, the infantry. I was going to say, if you don't get a land soon, that's going to be tough to come back from. I've never seen a Werewolves deck get stuck on lands that badly. Anyway, good game. Let's give this another try. All right, back with some more mono-red Arcane Bombardment. We'll keep this. Hopefully our deck gives us a couple more lands. At least enough to get up to this reservoir and start peeling off the top. Doesn't matter which one we start with here. They can both be cut down. Egg versus infantry. That's a new one. Oh, okay. That's not bad. That could work. I really do need some lands, though. They've got some kind of 1-mana instant. It's either a march or a cut down. March it is. They exiled a meat hook. There's land number 3. It's poor infantry. He's like, I thought you were casting spells in here. What's going on? Another land. Well, I don't think we need a second reservoir. Let's get rid of this. It's not good for our Arcane Bombardment plan. This infantry can start earning its keep around here. They want to make us discard a card.
You won't be outsmarted.
Well, we're not ready for bombardment just yet. Happy to let that slide. Because that means any land off the top gives us big score. Let's see what we get. Did I say big score? I meant burn down the house. This will bring the infantry up to 2, so we just need to send 2 devils over at Lily. Opponent likely has another meat hook in hand. You usually don't pitch that so easily. All right. Let's see what's on top here. Another land. We would play it. We'll sit back for now. Does not exploit the heavy, hoping to draw off of that. Pinged for 1 from this Clawing Torment. Another land. Let's see what else we can get here. Play with fire. That's not terrible. Opponent with a response. It's going to fake its own death. No exploit. Happy to sit back. We can take care of this heavy with just 2 devils if we need to. Yeah, we're pretty much playing off the top of our deck at this point, so another trespasser, not a huge dent in what we're doing. That's pretty decent. So is that, though. Let's see what else we get. Okay, Devastator could be a good one for next turn. Infantry good on blocks, but we'll get this second one down. I think next turn we'll start with some Shivan Devastator fireworks. This infantry just playing some fantastic defense for us. Alright, we can make a 7/7 Devastator. We can play Jaya and keep the go wide plan running. I like a big creature. Let's make a big creature. They likely have an answer for that. Hopefully it's just a march and they can't kill it. Oh, that could be the case. Liliana wanting us to discard. Yep, I think it's the flame for now. Jaya helps us keep churning off the top of our deck to play with. Opponent realizing they need to speed some things up here. We will decline because we're going to kill that with 2 devils. And let's see. I think we'll just block that one. Yep, that makes sense. Good upside on this infantry if we get another spell. And these devils are going to be able to take care of their blockers on their own. Had a moment of panic where I was like, did I order that correctly? Okay. All right, well, I did forget that that can't block. We are at 5. Realistically at 4. Somebody needs to block this glutton, or we can shoot it. Doing some quick math, we've got 12 damage on our side. I don't think we can cast enough spells to get the infantry up to where we need them to be. But we can take this off and do damage to any target, so let's tally that up real quick. That's 12 from creatures, and that's 4 from this, so we're 1 short there. That's a very, very specific set of things we need off the top here.
I came to talk, but if you'd rather fight, bring it on. Eyes open. Stay alert.
Okay, well, that will prevent Lily from being able to make us sack something.
I really don't have time for
This
you.
brings us to 14 damage, not enough to end the game. If we leave back 1 blocker, that's not enough. If they draw a removal spell, let's just hit them for that. We just need 1 more turn to get them with. That's fine. We discard infantry.
Overthink things.
Opponent could maybe ping us for 1 here if they decide to attack with this trespasser. They do. That'll put us to 4. Clawing Torment will put us to 3. And that was not to be. Well, we'll get fancy and lightning strike them. That's more than enough to finish the job. Whew. All right. Close one. Good game.